So, if I'm understanding this kit correctly, combining a demon, a prince of hell no less, with the Grim Reaper gives you a seraphim. I guess two negatives do make a positive after all. What is going on guys, MJ2005 Gundam here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the high-grade Gundam Livelance Heaven from Gundam Breaker Battlogue. The Grim Reaper turned 6-winged seraphim, this literal polar opposite of the Gundam Death Scythe Hell, is mixed with Prince Visago to give itself a divine appearance. The box bestows us with 9 runners, a small sticker sheet, and the instruction manual. With this kit's roots stemming from the TV Gundam Death Scythe Hell, 6 of the 9 runners are reusing those from the recent Gundam Death Scythe. The majority of the builds should feel familiar if you have built that kit, but the custom upper body, weapon, and new wings do freshen things up a bit. Overall, it's a very simple and enjoyable process that could even viably serve as a first time build. Interestingly, the E1 and F runners are labeled high-grade 144 scale Gundam Death Scythe Hell, so that kit is officially confirmed. But a high-grade after-war Gundam Visago is still not on the table yet. All snapped together and the Gundam Livelance Heaven immediately struck me as bland. The white color scheme washes out all surface detail, and the gold used on the frame just looks deplorable, resulting in a cheaper appearance than the sculpting would suggest. So, first order of business is to give this kit a light panel lining treatment on the white pieces and fixing the murky gold frame. After that, do the positives really come into light. Design-wise, the Visago and Death Scythe Hell parts work together well to create its seraphic appearance with the wings opened up, and the Shinanju-inspired gauntlets coupled with the Gundam Bernapius-inspired head makes for a regal appearance, while the closed active cloak covers up the Gundam with an angelic embrace and gives it a medieval cloak aesthetic to protect it from the rain and cold on top of incoming ballistics. The proportions are spot on to the line arts and the color separation is nicely done, with stickers supplementing the eyes and forehead camera, blue shoulder highlights, surface and underside of the back skirts, and the blue highlights and yellow undersides of the front wing pieces, which is a low quantity with quality, but the chest cannon needs to be painted grey for complete anime accuracy, and there are seam lines on the shoulders and the rear of the legs for you to clean up. It looks nice overall, but personally, this kit really demands the extra panel lining at the very least to look presentable. At 12.4 cm tall, it's still shorter than the average Gundam, but the mohawk and wingspan increase that to 13.5 cm and just shy of 21 cm respectively, giving it the extra height and display profile. Articulation begins with a double ball joint in the head so you can roll it around to the funky check-in and do a full 360 rotation despite its peculiar shape. The arms have a swivel out polycap which can swivel out quite far. You can roll around in their socket and do a rotation until it hits the wing. There's no shoulder flap so the arms are unimpeded going out, so altogether you can get it to raise perpendicularly to the body. There is a bicep swivel and a double jointed elbow, and the wrists are on ball joints. There is a double ball joint in the stomach and waist so you can do a little bit of crunching, a little bit of rotation, and the back skirts can be tucked up to allow for further forward crunches. Speaking of skirts, the front skirts can be moved very far up, side skirts not so much but you can still rotate them on the polycap, and the back skirts are on the clip thanks to the Sandrox frame. The legs still have the drop down mechanic so you can swivel the legs forward for maximum articulation, going forwards 90 degrees, going backwards almost 90 degrees, and going outwards almost to full splits but close but no cigar. There's a thigh swivel and a triple jointed knee which requires you to unlock the bottom and bend the top 2 joints to get the maximum amount of articulation. There's a polycap up top for the feet, ball joint at the bottom, a ball joint for the ankle armor but it's very tight especially because I painted my frame, and the toes can move. And for the sake of convenience, I have taken off the backpack to demonstrate the active cloak articulation. So it can rotate at the backpack base, the entire assembly can rotate on the arm, the front and back wings can be moved simultaneously and they can even rotate all together, and they can also move independently to each other. And the side wings over here are on ball joints so you can roll them around, rotate, and you do have about a 270 degree swivel joint. And finally, the thruster is on an adjustable ball joint. One thing I'm bothered about is that the cloak pieces have no tabs, so you have to line up everything perfectly in order to completely close the Gundam up, which is a little bit tough to do because you have the myriad of joints that you need to get 100% right in order for them to be situated in their perfect position. Here it is with the active cloak closed, and it does hinder quite a bit of maneuverability, especially around the head and the legs because the skirts cannot get out of the way, but in terms of the arms, you are still going to be able to perform quite a bit of posing despite the cloak getting in the way, so weapon wielding poses are not going to be a problem even with the cloak closed. Articulation is bound to be good from it inheriting the Death Scythes frame. The structure is sound, and the cloak is extremely maneuverable for open poses, but OCD will kick in when you try to close it, while weight issues manifest when it's open. For accessories, you get a pair of normal and angled thumbs up holding hands, as well as a pair of relaxed open hands, all of which could be posed with the namesake beam lance, and there is one problem with it: it's oversized. The lance head should be no larger than the Gundam head according to the anime, so its enlargement is entirely due to Bandai avoiding making a custom beam. Regardless, it is nicely color separated with tiny metallic blue stickers for the head. Currently, it's in its rod mode, which can fire beams for ranged combat, and a captivating glitter-infused light blue tomahawk beam can be plugged in for the lance mode, which is my preferred display mode, and it does hold fairly well in the hand. Or, if you fancy, flip the head down and the yellow fin up for the scythe mode. Honestly, I feel like this form is only made to contrive a relationship with the Code Phi, and because of its big head, the blade will weigh down the weapon. It just really doesn't work for me at all. For leftovers, we have a few frame and thruster pieces, shield blades, shoulder and backpack vents, and the original head and storage form with the beam scythe, extra beams, of which the axe blade is usable with the beam lance to odd effect, and the head and cloak connection pieces of the Gundam Death Scythe Hell. What really astonishes me is the helmet and camera piece, as it suggests that the white trim of the head will be fully color separated, which is unreal to think about, but only when they do announce the high grade after colony Death Scythe Hell do we get to see that in action. The Gundam Livelance Heaven is an interesting take on the Death Scythe Hell, producing a uniquely heavenly aesthetic with something demonic. While Bandai nailed the proportions and colors with a few stickers, it demands panel lining and a different gold coat to look presentable. The movement range is wide and the structure is naturally solid, especially with all the joints in the wings. However, weight issues may occur when they're open, and I'd have appreciated tabs to keep the closed wings aligned. The beam lance though? That's way too heavy because of its big head, especially in scythe mode. Familiarity aside, it's a very simple build that provides solid mechanics at barely any cost while keeping everything good from the Death Scythe, on top of being a fun build that offers something new in the form of the upper body. But, being based on the wing kit for the most part, it fully bets on your love for the Death Scythe Hell and the Divine Twist, while putting faith in the engineering for good structural integrity and fun posing. So if none of that catches your eye, then there is little else to be found. Priced at 2,000 yen with the obsolete leftover parts dragging the price up, there is certainly a lot more options that have more features while bearing the above positives, so it's not necessarily the best value if you don't particularly like the design. In the end, it averages a 7.5 out of 10, so it's still a decent purchase if your soul is baptized by its presence. And for the customizers out there, a universally compatible Versago chest and Bernapius head is still something you can steal from this kit, so run wild with their ideas. And that basically wraps it up for me. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did like it, please be sure to drop a like, comment, and also subscribe for more Gunpla reviews, Gunpla news, and all that kind of stuff. Turn on notifications for future content alerts if you haven't, and I'll see you all in the next video. Hang loose and peace out.